So another concept that'll be on our quiz is this chain rule using natural logs and e's. So if you look at your purple sheet, you've got those on here, number 15 and number 16. So you're going to have to be able to use those with the chain rule. So the first one, number 15, says this: if you've got the natural log of u that you're taking the derivative of, that derivative is going to be 1 over u times u prime, and the derivative of e to the u, if you're taking the derivative of that, is going to be e to the u times u prime. So we already did this before Thanksgiving. We did this on Khan Academy, but we didn't do it with u's. We only did it with x's. All right, so just making up an example over this. So let's say we've got f of x equals the natural log of 5x minus 3, and then plus e to the x squared minus 4. And we want to find that derivative. Well, if you just apply these formulas, it's really not that difficult. So the derivative of natural log, this would be our u. That's going to be 1 over u, and then times, and then u prime. So u prime is 5. And then for this one, the derivative of e to the u is just e to the u. Don't take that derivative too early, and then it's times u prime, so times 2x. So then putting this together, it's going to be 5 over 5x minus 3 plus 2x e to the x squared minus 4. All right, so that would be our derivative. So the only thing that people mess up with on this is that they think it's going to be e, and then they take that derivative and put that up there, and that's not right. It's e to the u. U does not change, and then you do times the derivative of the u. All right, let's look at one more. Let's make it a little tougher. Let's say we've got 4 pi sine 2x cosine 2x plus natural log of 7x squared plus 1. All right, guys, if we're going to take this derivative, what would be a good thing to do with this? See that pattern, that k sine u cosine u? I can rewrite that, can't I? I'm not taking the derivative. This is that double angle formula right here. Whenever we see that, if we simplify it first, it makes it a lot easier, because I don't want to have to use the product rule here, which is what would be required, unless I rewrite it. So if I rewrite this by dividing this coefficient by 2 and then doing the sine of double the angle, it'll be much easier to take the derivative. Now, here's where people get into trouble. They did not take the derivative here, so don't take the derivative here. Just rewrite that part. What happens is people rewrite this and they take the derivative of that. Well, that's going to mess everything up. Do everything consistently. This is still just our original problem. I have not taken any derivatives. All I did was rewrote the first term. Now I'll take derivatives. So this is just k sine u. The derivative of k sine u is k cosine u times the derivative of u. Don't forget that. That's what a lot of people forget, is to use that chain rule. The chain rule says anytime this angle is something other than just x, we have to use the chain rule and do the derivative of u right there. So the derivative of natural log of u is going to be 1 over that u, and then times the derivative of the u, 14x. And now just kind of putting this all together, these two can be multiplied. That's an angle, don't multiply that. And that would be it. Okay? Make sense? All right, let's do one more just with e. What if we had f of x equals, let's make this tough, e to the x squared plus sine x. You can see something like that. Just follow your pattern. The derivative of e to the u is just e to the u, don't change it. But then we have to do times the derivative of the u. What's the derivative of that? Anybody know? Derivative of our exponent? Right, 2x plus cosine x. All right, so the way to write this, like even the way I have it written right now, this is actually wrong because the way that I've got it would mean that this e is only getting multiplied by the 2x, whereas really it's e to the u times u prime. If I'm going to keep it like this, I have to put this in parentheses to show that it's not that we're adding on cosine x after we multiplied those. That's the reason why we typically put this u prime in the front, just to show that that is the multiplier. Okay, so that'd be about the most complicated thing you'd see with a e to the u kind of problem. So we will have just a couple of these on our quiz. On Monday you'll have a worksheet that'll have just a couple of those in there. If you're doing well on the worksheet that we had, that first one, you'll be totally fine on the quiz. It's just using that chain rule and just throwing in a couple of these as well.